computer. So we're looking at families. Remember, I told you that it's important that you understand the family. So this particular family is going to be computers and technology. And this is the word family. You don't have to write anything down right now because I'm going to send you this word family. And with this word family, we have device, gadget, word family related to technology and computers. And you work with computers and technology, so this should not be a difficult one. So these words: device, gadget, communication, innovation, up-to-date, user-friendly, leading edge, hookup, boot up, free up, headset, microphone, all of those are related to technology.
Could I use cutting edge?
Cutting edge, good.
Cutting edge.
Cutting edge would be good also. So here we could say the topic, of course, is computers and technology. The topic is, so the examiner is going to say, I'd like to talk to you about computers and technology. And you'll say, all right. And the question is, how often do you use electronic devices? Now, this is when you look at that rubric that I showed you. And that rubric is somewhere. Let's see if I can find that. Find that rubric. I don't need to save that. And I don't need to save that. I'm opening. There it is. I saw it. That's not it. But either way, let's see. Close that one. That's not it. It's a document down here somewhere. Okay, it's this one. Do you see a document on top of that one? This is band fluency and coherence. Do you see that?
No, sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to copy the information. We looked at it earlier, and I'm going to put it here. One of the things that we're going to look for is Control C. There are four components. There are four components that you need to be aware of when you are doing the IELTS. So you see band fluency and coherence now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So we need to speak at length without noticeable effort or loss of coherence. This is the same. This same comment applies to writing as well. Okay. So when we talk about it, when you get to the writing part, we're going to talk about fluency and coherence. You're going to be able to speak or write without noticeable effort or loss of coherence. You may show some hesitation at times, but you must use a range of connectiveness and also, however, which are your transitional phrases and your discourse markers. A discourse marker is something like, well, you know, but I don't have a lot of them, okay? So in part one, we're looking at how often do you use electronic devices? This is my comment. Let's put tutor comment. Use a discourse marker, which is, not all of them at the same time. That's a good question. Let me see. Okay, those are examples of discourse markers. You don't need to write that down. It's on here.
Okay.
Markers. Because it's too much to write. So that's what so how often do you use electronic devices? I often, now here's the answer. Teacher answer. I typically, that's my, I'm going to put A for academic vocabulary. I typically use my electronic devices about twice a week. Okay, that's one sentence. You need probably 2 or 3 sentences. You don't need 4 because it's a quick response. I typically use my electronic devices about twice a week. I put on, which is a phrasal verb, right? I put on my headset so that I don't disturb my family, okay? Then, however, this is your transitional phrase. When I am at work, I will not use, when I'm at work, it's what I'm looking for, a technology word. What should I use? Hook up. When I'm at work, I will use what kind of cables related to technology? I will use the internet, high speed. When I'm at work, I use a high speed internet. I don't know. So this is your word family. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got our academic vocabulary, which is typically is your academic vocabulary. Put on is your phrasal verb. And your transitional phrase is however. Do you understand? And then the last one is your word family, high-speed internet. Bold, underline, and italic. All right, now using this example, using my example, do you think computers have changed your life or not? I want you to think about what you're going to say, even if you say it incorrectly, which is fine, but I want to see if you can understand the model that I just shared with you. Answer, do you think computers have changed your life a lot? I want to hear I forgot to put what this is. This is your, what did I call this thing? This is your
discourse market.
your discourse marker, right? Okay, discourse marker. Okay, the is your discourse marker. But now you can't say You just kind of get a pass for one. That's too dark. Just get a pass for one. Okay. Ready? I'm listening for your sentence.
Okay. Do you think?
So that's your first one. So that's your first one. Okay.
Okay.
And okay is a discourse marker.
I think so.
So is a discourse marker. All right, you may begin.
Okay, again. Let me see. Actually, it's a good question because I'm a big fan of the electronic devices and electronic engineering. And all time I want to be surrounded of gadgets. And I think the computer has changed uh, a lot, especially talking about the speed and speed and the number of the processor that you can have in a small or tiny space. And thanks to this evolution,
Two or three sentences.
okay, I'm going to say just thanks to this evolution.
Okay, now I didn't
Now,
even copy everything that you said. So we're going to look at what I got the gist of it. Okay, it's a good question. Is your discourse marker? That's your DM. Okay, it's a good question.
I'm a big fan, I want to say.
Okay. Well, that's not a discourse marker, but so okay. I am a good fan.
Big.
I'm a big fan. Okay, I'm gonna put big here because here would be a great place to put an academic word. Big. I'm a phenomenal fan. I'm a tremendous fan. I am whatever. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a big fan of what?
Of electronics devices or gadgets.
Okay. Very good. Electronic gadgets
Gadgets.
and devices. Okay. So this could be your word family. Electronic gadgets and devices. Okay. And what else do we have? Okay. I think, continue.
Okay, I think the computer has changed.
I think the computer has changed.
Changed.
Mhm.
Has changed. I think the computer has changed a lot, especially talking about the speed,
Changed a lot, especially,
especially about the speed and the
okay,
number of the
especially,
processor.
it's going to be especially when we think about or when we talk about. See, here you could have a phrasal verb, talk about, read about, especially, especially when we talk 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 about. Okay, that could be your phrasal verb. This is your phrasal verb. Talk about. Are you with me?
Yes, I am with you.
Okay. It has changed a lot, especially when we talk about the speed and the number of the processor. This again would be word family. The number of the processor. I'm not sure because I don't know how to say it. Would it be the number of the processor or the
Maybe
number
not the number, the amount of the processor.
when we and the speed and the when we talk about the speed and the amount?
Amount, yes. How many processor do you have in now? For example,
The
maybe it's amount.
quantity?
I don't know the quantity. Yeah, I'm talking about the quantity. 1, 2, 3, 4 processors.
Is that like machines? One machine, two machines, three machines, or something within
No,
the machine?
for example, your computer right now has more than one processor working for you.
Okay. And
You
the
know what I mean?
maybe it's the processor capacity? I don't know.
The capacity the capacity could be, but there
Okay.
are something it's
It,
called
it doesn't have to be that exactly.
cars. Do you know what's a car? Car.
A card?
Car. How many cars? For example, your processor, how many cars do you have?
Okay. Like a motherboard kind of thing?
In your motherboard,
Okay.
there is
Okay.
car.
Well,
More
it
than
doesn't.
one car.
Okay. It's card probably with a D.
Car.
Is it
No,
C-A-R or C?
CORE.
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 Core. Sorry, what did I say?
Core. Core.
Yes, car. Amount of car of yes.
Okay. And it doesn't
Oh,
have to be that exact because the examiner may be someone like me that isn't familiar with what's in a computer. Okay, so my student is coming now.
okay.
But let's see. Well, he still has 2 minutes, but he just sent a message that he's here. It's a good question. I'm a big fan of electronic gadgets and devices, word family. I think the computer has changed a lot, especially when we talk about the speed and the core processor, something or whatever. The speed and the core processor. Okay, that you have. Okay, so you're talking about the computer now, so it's not a you. So it has. You understand? You,
Okay.
it has to be the it, not you, not the human. But the core processor is an it.
That they
That
have.
and the core processors and the core processors space. I'm going to say just space actually. So we've got the discourse. We've got the word family too. We've got the academic vocabulary.
We need a transitional.
We got academic vocabulary, which is green. And I'm a big fan of electronic devices. However, see, however, you could put however. I think computers, now we have to change it. However, I believe, however, is going to be your transitional phrase. And this is what it means when you just have to keep working at it to understand it. I think the computer, and when you start to understand it, your conversation will include it, or it will have enough in it that you don't have to mentally think about it. Think about it. I think the computer, however, I think the computer has changed a lot, especially when we talk about the speed and the core processor, PAT. So we have everything now. We've got our P, we have our A, we have our T. So what I'd like for you to do in the next session this afternoon, try to outline for me, showing me what the DM is, what the academic is, the phrasal verb, and the transition for this one. If you send it to me before class, if you have time. If you don't, that's okay too. All right, I'll
Okay.
send you this video in about 2 minutes. Gotta go.
Okay. Thank you,
Bye.
Dr.
Thank
Priscilla.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Well, if I could click on this thing. Bye.